Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the worst, most despised, and most underwhelming mobile phone games that were released in the last 10 years, from 2014 until today. Number 10, 8-3, Still Alive.
Perfect opportunity to arrest her. I'm disappointed.
If you were looking for a top quality mobile game that was an MMORPG and a battle royale, then 2020's 8-3 Still Alive isn't for you. Created by Netmarble, the developers behind Marvel Future Fight and Star Wars Force Arena, 8-3 was praised for its cutscenes and graphics that seemingly made it look great. However, underneath that shiny and pretty surface was a hollow shell with a lacking story. Another main criticism was the auto-questing system, which essentially turned the game into a viewing experience with little need for interaction. However, while the system is optional, its constant availability made it too tempting to use and thus ruined the experience for players.
We need to find a way to counteract this.
Number 9, eFootball 2022.
Well, if you did just miss it, we are up and running already.
Like the video game equivalent of Pepsi versus Coke, back in the day, football fans would argue about the superior game of their sport, FIFA or Pro Evolution Soccer. This battle later evolved into the mobile market. But in 2021, Konami, the company behind PES, released a rebrand with eFootball 2022. And it was badly botched for consoles, becoming Steam's most hated game at one point. The mobile version was heavily delayed to 2022 due to a litany of performance issues. But once it arrived, it immediately disappointed loyal players. Firstly, the system requirements only meant really new devices were supported. But the complicated gameplay, strange AI decisions during matches, and the abundance of microtransactions forced longtime supporters to uninstall the game.
That is how to respond to adversity. Truly deserving winners.
Number 8, Forza Street. On consoles, the Forza franchise is one of the best car racers around, but on mobile, it's a vastly different story. In 2018, Miami Street was released on PCs by publisher Electric Square. 1 year later, the game was rebranded as Forza Street for mobiles. It wasn't a typical racing experience. Instead of spinning the steering wheel, making last-minute directional changes, and knocking against your opponent for an advantage and carnage thrills, players press buttons in a far more hands-off affair than was expected. The free-to-play venture was praised for its visuals, yet the lack of gameplay made it a dull experience while encouraging players to splash out for microtransactions. Only a few years into its release, Forza Street had its servers switched off. Number 7, Mario Kart Tour. Playing Mario Kart on the go through your phone sounds like a fun way to spend the soul-destroying commute to work. Many people felt the same when 2019's Mario Kart Tour came out, as it broke Nintendo records for their most downloadable mobile games. However, even with that, it was still seen as very underwhelming. Players did enjoy the simple control system and the good performance, but the bombardment of microtransactions made the experience feel cheap and tacky. Another Nintendo cash grab was 2016's Super Mario Run. Upon its release on the Apple Store, it was seen as too easy until it demanded money for the complete experience. This negative reaction reportedly caused the company's shared price to drop by 11%.
Mario number 1! Woohoo!
Number 6, Family Guy, The Quest for Stuff.
That's right, I'm horizontal. I've spent all those years as a vertical fraud.
Taking inspiration from EA's The Simpsons Tapped Out, developer TinyCo put out their own freemium mobile game based on an animated sitcom with 2014's Family Guy: The Quest for Stuff. While the Quahog building game featured a dabble of the actual voice actors for the characters and was written by the show's writers, the gameplay itself wasn't well received. The quest and creating buildings took a lifetime to complete. If you got bored enough, TinyCo tempted you with speeding it up by splashing actual money. While players gave in from time to time, the cost quickly got expensive and turned them off from the experience.
Loud and clear.
Number 5. Tom Clancy's Elite Squad.
Airstrike.
On the surface, a tactical mobile game that featured beloved characters from Tom Clancy's gaming universe sounds like a good idea. After all, who doesn't want to see Sam Fisher take on the Rainbow Six game? But in reality, it turned out to be a disaster in 2020. For starters, the villainous organization in the Ubisoft project had a raised fist logo that resembled the Black Lives Matter movement, forcing the company to publicly apologize. Mix in regular crashing, repetitive 5v5 battles, and the gacha system meant Tom Clancy's Elite Squad had a very short life on cell phones. In 2021, Ubisoft announced the game's servers were to be shut down.
Airstrike's over. Finish them.
Number 4. Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery. The Harry Potter franchise has had a rough time in the mobile world. On top of the short run of Niantic's Harry Potter's Wizards Unite, there was 2018's Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery. Made by Jam City, it excited nostalgic fans with the lure of living their fantasy of being a magical student and meeting characters voiced by some of the film's actors. Yet, when it was released, it was heavily criticized for its aggressive pursuit of microtransactions. After your avatar is freed from Devil's Snare in the early story, you can either wait ages for the energy to recharge or splash the cash to get it done immediately. To make it worse, it worked as Hogwarts Mystery grossed $55 million in almost 3 months. Number 3. Pokémon Rumble Rush. As big and as long-lasting a franchise as Pokémon is, there are bound to be a few flops in the company's vast library. But boy, nothing has come close to the overwhelming hatred that 2019's Pokémon Rumble Rush produced. Developed by Umbrella, who had created the Rumble spin-off since 2009, Rumble Rush had players controlling toy Pokémon battling other monsters through Island. Yet, the dull grinding progression, the many bugs, and the poor controls made the experience horrible. Not even the thrill of battle was fun enough to make up for it. A year into its life, Rumble Rush was shut down. Then, Creatures, one of the companies that owns Pokemon, bought and disbanded Umbrella shortly after. Number 2. Dungeon Keeper. Fans of the 90s cult classic Dungeon Keeper were excited to play the 2014 revamped mobile game. Instead of fans excitedly managing and building their dark dungeons, this version went in a vastly different direction with a tower defense approach, and the players were livid. But to make it worse was the very aggressive approach towards microtransactions in this apparent free-to-play experience. So much so that in the UK, original commercials for the 2014 version were banned for being misleading. This hyperfixation of squeezing every drop of cash from players ruined any chance it had of being good or fun. Instead, the rebooted Dungeon Keeper was described as an anti-game. In 2022, Dungeon Keeper left with a whimper as Electronic Arts closed it down.
Impressive.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Roller Coaster Tycoon for mobile. Many people have fun, yet disturbing memories of playing Roller Coaster Tycoon and flinging virtual guests into the air. So when Atari announced Roller Coaster Tycoon 4 Mobile, nostalgic fans were ready to relive that experience as they built the park of their dreams / nightmares. Instead, many of the franchise's features were stripped away, and the roller coasters were pre-made. To make it worse, long build waiting times, dull objective following, and the overuse of the classic villainous microtransactions took all the joy away. The game was already premium, yet it requested more finances from players. After being slandered everywhere by everyone, Atari quickly shifted Tycoon 4 to a free-to-play system, which made it slightly less hated. What's the best mobile video game port you've played? Titan Quest? Knights of the Old Republic? Death Road to Canada? Or something else? Let us know in the comments down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more Watch Mojo videos.
Mario #1! Woohoo!
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.